guys, it's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming on today to use some of my Temu products that I've gotten over the past 2 orders, and I'm gonna decorate the outside of my journal. So I'm gonna start doing some junk journaling on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, something you wanna know more about, definitely stick around, hit that notification bell, subscribe if you're not, and I will take you through some junk journaling process. I think the one thing that people tend to get hung up on is like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And it's such a personal, unique experience that I just want you to do it however you're comfortable with. So I'll show you what I'm gonna do, and then you can do the same, you can tweak it, you can just do whatever you wanna do. So I'm starting with a pre-made book for this one. I am gonna be putting some of these books up for sale in my Etsy shop. They are just a blank journal. It's craft paper on the outside. I went ahead, I covered it with some paper from Garden Party, and then I just created a little pocket inside each one. I did a little border punch on there and a border punch on here on this side. And then just made it a little bit of a pocket. I'll go into doing more things like this in the future, but I just didn't want that to be what this video was about. What my plan is today is to kind of decorate the junk journal. So like I said, I readied the paper and I did this ahead of time just because it's a little time consuming. But you know, basically you're just gonna take a sheet of paper and fold it over the book. I'm using this Fabri-Tac glue. The reason a lot of junk journalers use this glue is because it doesn't warp or crinkle underneath your paper. So you're gonna get a nice smooth finish on it. So what I did for the outside of the book is I just bent that piece of paper over and then trimmed around the edges. And then on the inside, I took a piece of paper that was a little bit longer, folded it over on this edge, and again trimmed around it. So I did the same thing on this side, you know, made it a little bit longer, you know, a couple inches longer, however deep you want your pocket, folded it over, and then I just put a glue here and there to create the pocket. One of the things I like to do, I like mine to look a little aged, so I'm just gonna take this vintage photo by Tim Holtz. You're gonna get one of these dabbers. You don't need this because you could take this if you wanted to and just kind of rub it on there to get your kind of vintage looking edge. But you can take these dabbers. These are little pieces that you can buy that Velcro on there. So you can have a different pad for each color. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just ink my edges. So I'm going to bring you close to see if you can tell the difference. So there it is. And now, you know, just by doing this, you just kind of create a little bit of a shadow along that lip. Kind of takes the newness out of it is really kind of how I describe it. And on the edges here, you know, it's kind of white from the paper. I just want it to look just a little bit more aged. So you can kind of see it there, just that brown around the corner. You don't have to do this. I used to not really like coffee dyed, tea dyed papers, kind of things that made it look aged. And I've really changed my mind on that, where I do now like to incorporate that. I like things that do look old. And a lot of the things that junk journalers use nowadays are newer items. So it's just a way to make them kind of look aged. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Gentle over here and just hit those edges. All right. So the next thing I'm going to put on is one of these doors that I made. So I did go ahead and make this ahead of time, again, just because it takes a little bit longer. I do have some doors for sale in my Etsy shop if you are interested in purchasing one. I have some that are undecorated and then some that are decorated. So I'm going to go ahead and just edge the wood border around there, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. So again, just this Fabri-Tac liquid glue. Go around the edges. And then I am going to put that centered on my front. Okay. Inside the doors, I'll probably find a quote or something to put here. I'm not 100% sure what's going to go in there yet, so I'm just going to leave it blank for now, but I'm going to do something in there. I have this moss that I bought from Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I'm going to use that around my door. Let me show you. This is one of the doors that I created. See how it's got like the white moss around it? I decorated it with some mushrooms and some flowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on mine. And just decide what I wanna do here. Move you guys a little bit down so you can see. There we go. Okay. All right, guys, so I think I'm done. The theme of this junk journal is more is more. Like, I just love all the things. So just look how chunky that is. That's just really, really fun to me. It still opens, so I can still put something in there. I did use a mixture of hot glue and the Fabri-Tac, so you know, whatever you feel comfortable with to get it to stick down, I think is up to you. So I'm just gonna add one more tiny little flower here, and then we'll get on to some of the accessories. All right, so I think I'm done with that. So the first thing I think I'm gonna do is pick out a pen. These pens are from Temu. They are super fine tipped. If you like that, I highly recommend it. So it is like that. Oops, sorry. That is what the tip looks like. It writes so good. It's black ink, no matter what the color is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick my color out. Of course, I'm gonna go with the pink. And then I have two different types of paper clips here. These are also from Temu. Ooh, I'm moving my hot glue gun. So this one slides in the side. So it would slide in like this. Oops. Like this. And then it's gonna hold the pen in here. Like that. And then there is this kind that's going to come in from the top, like, yep, like that. And then your pen is going to hook in it like this. So, you know, that's just your preference. I think I'm going to go with this one. I just don't know. I didn't leave room for a pen. I think I have room up here for it. I'm going to put it up at the top. Like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have room for a pen on mine, which is a bummer because I'll have to think of another way to do it. I think I'll create maybe a loop on the side. I'll show you guys in another video how to create like a pen loop. So anyway, let's just move on from that. But I did want to add some fabric to a paper clip. So let me just grab a regular paper clip that doesn't have the pen loop on it. I would have liked a plain gold one, but I don't have one. So I have a white one that I can use, or I have this clip, which I kind of like. I think I'm gonna go with the clip. It's just got more substance to it. So I brought over my ribbon trim jar too to see if we wanted to add any ribbon to it. So I think I'm gonna start with the pink. So these are from Temu. I did not show them in a haul because I lost the footage for it, unfortunately. But I do have a link for it, so I will find the link and link it down below. So remember I had gotten the little 4x4 squares and I wish they were bigger. Well, I ended up finding these, which these are much bigger. I think, I don't have my ruler here, but I think they're 8x8. So I'm gonna take one pink for sure. Let's see, so there's Floral. I do like the polka dots, that's kind of fun. Pull that one out. And then this is just like a variety pack of them. So you get like polka dots, like these little stars. Here's some stripes, a little gingham, and some floral. All right, so I'm gonna take this one, then let's see if there's a green one that we like with it. This doesn't have like a lot of green with it, so I don't know if the green will work. This has polka dots and florals as well. What's this one back here? That one will go, right? Okay, let's choose that. So far we have these two. And then we'll bring in a yellow. And, oh, that's really pretty. Let's bring in, is that too much floral? If we bring this one in, that might be too much. We have the yellow stripe, could do that, or this yellow, let's do the yellow gingham. Okay, so we'll do these three, and all I do is I like to make, because I want it to look vintage or older, I'm gonna do just a rip technique. So all you have to do with fabric is, you can see where these strings are coming out like this, they're pulling down this way. So if you cut a strip, just a little notch right there, you can rip the fabric and it's gonna rip in a straight line and it's gonna give you that torn edge like that. So I just wanted to take that piece off just because it had one straight side. So let's just do this so it has both of the torn sides. And then you just have to kind of straighten it out a little bit. It's going to want to roll on you. So let's do the same thing for the yellow. I'm just going to get this piece off. I'll save these pieces. I'm sure I'll use them for something else. Oh, I got a little too close to the edge on that one. There we go. That's a better rip. Okay, so then, and I'm just doing maybe, it's for sure less than an inch. It's probably between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so there's the yellow. And then we'll do the floral. I want to do it this way. Okay. So we've got these 3. And then, like I said, I brought this trim over to see if anything else, if I wanted to add anything else to it. Like I've got this really pretty piece of seam binding. That would look really pretty with it. We'll add that. Put some texture with this white eyelash trim. Take that. Just like, that green's kind of pretty with it. Actually, let's do the rickrack instead. Then we're going to get some more texture in there. Yeah, let's do them both. All right, I think that's plenty. Let me do one to tie it with. I think I'll use that or this piece. I'll pull them both out just in case. All right, so I'm going to find my middle. I don't think I'll keep them this length, but we'll start with it. And then I'm just kind of alternating between the ribbon and the fabric. And since this has the nice big loop on it, it will go through nice and easy. So just going to push half of the fabric through there. Okay. And what we're going to do is kind of find our center here. All right, and I'm going, oh, we forgot this piece. Let's get that one in there. All right, so now we have them in there, and what we're going to do is we're going to tie it. So I've just got this white cording here that I grabbed. I'm just going to kind of wrap it around a couple times. And then I'm going to tie it up in the back. So you could do this with a paper clip as well. You would just do it from this part right here up on the top. So I'm going to do a double knot on there, and then I'm going to hit it with this glue, just to ensure that it stays. Okay. trying to determine how tall we want it. So let's go the length of the rickrack, and we'll see if that lets them stand up nice. So I'm just going to do an angle cut on each one, but I'm going to alternate directions. So it's going to give it a little more personality. And then I'm going to alternate the heights a little bit as well. I don't want them all cut perfectly even. So if you wanted to, you could add a little bow to the front of here. Let me see what I have, because I think that would be cute to just do a little bow to finish it off. All right, I actually have a little pink bow that I ordered off of Temu as well. These came in packs of like 150, so they're already made for you. Aren't they really cute? They're really well done. These were part of I think they were part of the strawberry mix. So we're just gonna finish that off with the bow. Okay, adorable. Let's save those two little scraps. Throw the rest away. All right, so now we've got our clip, and we can, you know, put that anywhere we want. We can clip the entire book shut if we want to. You could go sideways with it. You can turn this around that loop if you want it to go, you know, someplace else. So it's kind of versatile that way. All right, the next thing I want to do is make a bookmark. So how I'm going to do that is with this little kit that I got off Temu. So I was able to find this little kit of all gold findings. So there's earring backs, there's jump rings in 3 different sizes, there's crimp beads, eye pins, these little tiny pins that you can make. Oh, there we go. Pins that you can make erasers into charms. These are little crimp ones, lobster clasps, and then these little things. And this is what we're going to be working with today to make our bookmark. They're just a little bit of a larger crimp piece. And then I just pulled out this gingham fabric. Let's move this out of the way. So just got this gingham fabric here. I'm just going to measure it about a ½ inch extra on each side of my book, and that's all you're going to need. So as you can see, it just extends past, you know, the book about a ½ inch on each side. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take your crimp bead, or your crimper, it's not a bead, and you are going to crimp that onto the fabric. I have my tools here. So I have just this tool that I'm going to use to push it down. You can buy special tools that crimp that have a rubber on the inside or a harder plastic. This one works fine for me, so I didn't feel like purchasing one, but that's going to get it nice and tight on there. Okay, so it's not going to come off. It's going to look like that, and you'll notice it has a little spot to add a charm or something on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add one to each side. So you can buy these in different widths. So if you wanted to make bookmarks that were a little bit thicker, you could buy a thicker crimp. And you're going to find these crimps in the jewelry section. When you're looking for something, if you're in a store on Temu, I will leave the link for it. All right, cut off this little spare string. All right, so then what I did is I just grabbed some charms and some jump rings. So I have a little bee. This was just gifted to me in a Valentine's Day swap. I have an N for Nikki. I've got a little bluebird, and then I've got a ribbon. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use both, if I'm going to use all of them, but what I was thinking is to hang 2 from each side. So I could do like the the ribbon and Nikki, and then I could do the bird and the bee down here. Or I could just switch these two and do the bow and the bird. Let's do that. I think I'm gonna need a couple more jump rings. So I'm gonna do one jump ring to hold it, or one jump ring coming off of it, and then these smaller jump rings coming off that bigger jump ring. So I'm gonna use this side to come off the crimp, and then these tinier ones I'm going to use on the charm itself, and then these will hook to that. So let's just get out our tools. So I must just start by putting this on here, and then the end already has a tiny little jump ring on it. So I'm going to put that on there. Oh, this might actually just be able to hang from there. Yeah, I think I can do that. So then I'm going to twist this back together, and you're always going to twist it apart like this. You're never going to pull it like this. Twisting it will help you maintain its shape. All right, so I have it on like this, but I think I'm going to take it off. I want the end to sit on top of the bee. The bee kind of covers it up. You see what I mean? How can we do that? Let's open this back up. All right, so then we're going to put the bee on first, this way. And then we'll put the N charm on top of it. And that's backwards. All right, better. So we'll close this up. Now the end sits on top of the bee. So it looks like that. Okay, and we'll do the other side. So we're going to put the jump ring through again, just make sure we're getting it on there correct. And then we'll do the bow first because it's larger. And then I think I'm going to do a little tiny jump ring on the bird just so it hangs a little bit lower. Okay, then we're going to put the bow on the jump ring here. The bird on the jump ring, not the bow. And we'll get it closed up. All right, so then this side looks like that, and this side looks like this. Perfect. So then this can go in your book to keep your place where you're at, and it adds a little bit of extra bling. So like my junk journals, I'm happy when there's stuff sticking all out and you know it's thick and chunky. So you know, I like to add the jewelry, I like to add the bling, and we'll be adding some more stuff like this as we go along with it. I'm super happy with it so far. Guys, if you're interested, let me know. I would love to do more junk journal videos. Like I said, I think you'll be seeing quite a bit more of those on my channel just because they're so fun for me to make. And I will let you know when I've got like starter junk journal kits in my Etsy shop. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.